voice of Long Beach. Halftime, Howie. Welcome everyone to another edition of Broadcasting on the Beach with Halftime Howie. A lot of great segments planned. We're going to start the show with the multi-talented Mark Blowers. Mark, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, Mark is multi-talented. Most people come on the show and they sing first. Not Mark. Mark is going to sing. He's going to dance. So, Mark, let's go back in your history. When did you discover your talents? So many talents. Singing, dancing, and we'll get into other things a little later.
Well, my mom's a musician, so I've been around music my whole life. My first solo singing was at 5 in church, and then I started taking dance class when I was 7, so it's been most of my life.
Talk about the experience of you singing and having your mom on the piano, the organ. What's that like, performing with mom?
Well, it's great. It was, it was natural for me growing up. I sang with her all the time, and then when I was about to go to college and realized that I was going to have to learn to sing with somebody else at the piano, I had a minor breakdown.
All right. Now, you grew up in Ohio. How did your journey get from Ohio to New York City?
Well, I double majored in music education and musical theater, and I did summer stock throughout college, and so I had been to New York a few times on tours and things like that, but when I was doing my student teaching, I was about ready to accept a position as a long-term sub for a lady who was going out on pregnancy leave, and I kept thinking about it and decided that if I was going to go to New York, I needed to do it now. So I did one little show in Ohio before I left, and then just moved out to New York, and I've been here for 4.5 years.
Well, and besides singing and dancing, you also directed a play. Let's talk about that experience, what that was like.
Sure, yeah. I directed my first professional show this year. It's called Lily Marlene, and we opened it in Los Angeles at the beginning of 2017, in February, I think, and it ran out there for a couple months, and then we came back to New York and cast it here and did some revisions and opened it off Broadway at St. Luke's Theater, and it runs there on Tuesday nights. We just extended to December 19th.
That's awesome. Talk about that play and how did the opportunity come for you to direct this play?
Sure. The musical is it's set during the rise of Nazism in the late 1930s, and it goes back and forth between a cabaret where one of the main characters is a cabaret singer, and she falls in love with a count, and so it goes back and forth between the cabaret and his office and his family, and you get kind of a picture of what life might have been like for the former royalty of Germany, who had at that point kind of lost their power. I got the chance to direct it because few years ago I was in a show called Fabulous off Broadway. I was the swing dance captain and worked with John Lant, the producer, and he's asked me to do some readings and things in between then and now, and so he had this project coming up and asked me to go out to LA to do it. He said that he trusted me, that I had a brain for directing, so go do it. I said, great.
This is awesome, because this opens the door for you to direct other things in the future. It's great for your resume, great experience, so I think this really opens the door for fabulous things down the road.
I agree. I hope so.
Now, you also sing and dance. You're in a choir on Sundays. You're a busy guy. Talk about your passion for singing and dancing.
Well, like I said, music has been in my blood my whole life, and my sister danced before me, and so I kind of followed in her footsteps. And I was just in Texas for a few days and went to tap class with my sister, even though I didn't have shoes. And so yeah, it's a lifelong joy. And musical theater. I've been watching musical movies since I was tiny, and now love to get up and do them.
One thing I'm excited about, Rocco, my co-producer, Rocco Passavu, my co-producer, one thing we enjoy is every now and then we enjoy taking the show on the road, and we've done several shows in Massachusetts, and on Saturday, October 7th, we're going to be doing a show at the Maplewood Senior Assisted Living Facility in Weston, Mass. And I spoke to you about it, Mark, and you're going to be performing, and we're excited to have you perform at the show, and I think the seniors there are really going to love it. Talk about how excited you are to perform at the show in my home area of Massachusetts come October.
Oh, sure. My whole life I've always been a favorite of, as we say, the old ladies. And
oh, they're going to eat you up.
And I know, one of my biggest inspirations in vocals is Frank Sinatra, and so I know they're big fans of him, and others, and so yeah, I'm gonna really.
Yeah, I could see them going crazy because singing Frank Sinatra, Nat King Cole, and tap dancing to Fred Astaire, it's going to bring back great memories. So I can't wait for that the show up in Boston.
Me neither.